don't need this. Oh, what's this? Ooh, I have an idea. Hey, how's it going? And welcome back to FTOG on the Quantus server. No, strike that. Reverse it. I'm here looking over the FTOG village area because we don't spend a lot of time in here. We run through it, but we don't really do a lot else. So I thought, that's why I'll look over it. And in the last episode, we spent some time working on Open Computer's microcontrollers and getting the autocrafting to work on a separate system, which works really quite well. In this episode, however, I'm going to take another break from Open Computers, and I thought we really need to have a look at the cabling system that we have underneath the main piece of the base, and because it's looking very cabley and unsightly, and I thought since we've moved on in eras, it might be time to have a look at one of the new other mods that I haven't had a good play with yet. So let's get started. Okay, so we're back down here in the storage area. I don't spend a lot of time down here because of all the cabling. It just looks really quite meh. And I never finished off the storage cube here, but I've got enough storage at the moment to keep me going. In fact, this whole row here is just about empty. So this is just here as a reminder that it can go this far out, but yeah, there's still a lot of room to put stuff, and half of the other side's full too. But yeah, so I wanted to get rid of all the cabling. The immersive engineering cables are cool, but they're not great because, of course, they are limited on how much they can transfer, and they require cabling. Plus, of course, you can do this. You can break it and put it back, and it gives us power. But considering this wall has been here for quite some time, and it's just been collecting power, and I'm not using a lot yet, but I do have plans, I thought must be time to upgrade. So what I thought we'd have a look at is if we go into here, we can look for Flux. Is that what I'm after? That seems to be a bit more. Oh, it's Quantum Flux as well. Can I look for that network? That looks like what I'm after. So I thought we'll play with the mod Flux Network, which, great tooltip there, sends and receives energy. It's got really cool storage, really mass storage amounts, and it's all wireless. So to work with it, first thing we need to do is make ourselves a Flux controller. Now we just need one of these per network we set up, and I'll get into how the networks work in a second, but as you can see, it doesn't take a lot. It takes a Flux block, a Flux core, and some Flux. The Flux block is a whole bunch of more Flux, and another Flux core. Flux cores are probably the most hardest thing here because they require some obsidian and an ender eye, but hopefully I've got enough to do this. The hard part is the Flux, because there's no actual recipe for that except for what is described in the tooltip, which is obtained by throwing redstone in a fire or lava. So if we go into here, we can, let's just set off, let's not go too far because I'm not sure if these guys burn. And does fire and power mix? Let's do it here. Yeah, that's a good idea. So just throw some of these in here. And put that out. And as you can see, it's generated the Flux. So for every redstone you throw into the fire or lava, you'll get back one Flux back. Now, of course, now that we've got that, we can go into the next thing, which is making up the controller, which requires Flux blocks, which requires Flux cores. We get 4 of these per craft, so we should be able to make at least one of those. Each one of these blocks, okay, we need a lot more than that, so that's fine. Let's create some more. So let's throw all of that in there. Did that pick it up, or did I throw something else in there? No, got it all. Put that again so we don't catch everything else on fire, because that would be bad. We'll go into here. We need to make a whole bunch of these guys. We can make one. That's helpful. I'll have to autocraft these at some point, along with the obtaining the flux, because it looks like I might need quite a bit. We need to make some more of these, so that gives us 2. Really? Because I need some more ender eyes, of course. Whoop, that's not what I wanted to do. Put that into there with some ender pearls. In eyes. And we'll go back, make some. I'm just going to make a whole bunch of these at once. Just so we're prepared for later on, because we're going to require a lot of them. Then we can make some more flux blocks. Once again, a whole bunch of these are needed. And now we're missing flux. So, yeah, a lot of redstone going into this. I thought it was going to be a lot of obsidian, but no, it's a lot of redstone. Let me grab some more redstone, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I should have enough now to make a whole bunch of these guys, hopefully. 13 should be perfect. Made heaps. Took a lot of redstone, but I've got a lot of redstone in stock anyway, so it's not a big problem. We now need to make another one of these guys. What was the chances of needing to do that? Okay, and we need some more of this. So let's just throw those into there. Probably not a thing you want to make at the beginning of your Minecraft experience, but it's something you probably want to make because this is going to be quite a cool thing. So we'll make one of these, and we only need one of them, and we can place it anywhere. So let's just place it, I don't know, over here. Okay, so we go into interface. First thing we need to do is create a network, which is this button here, create new network. nzHook's network, yeah, we'll give it that for now. You have some options for the access. You can make private. You can make it restricted so that it's only available to certain people and they can't change settings. Or, of course, you can make it public and everybody can use it, which would be cool if I had enough power to do that, but I don't think I'm generating quite enough from the water wheels. Even though I've got a lot in storage, I don't think I've actually got enough to share it public just a moment. But, so we'll just, for now, we'll just use private. You can choose a color. This plays a part later on. If you have multiple networks, you can actually, all the different interfaces have that color, so you can instantly know what's going on. But I think that's everything it needs, so we will go create. And now it shows up in here. We can go into home. We can call, this is the name of this device, the priority, the maximum take, the ignore limit. We can change the send mode and the receive mode to basically send to the machine that requires the most power first, the machine that requires the smallest amount of power first, or just random machines. It doesn't random. Got the same options to receive. Haven't quite worked out what transfer mode does. I've been playing around in creative and I just can't work out what this does. You've got all these various options here which sound right cool. God mode, for example. Even distribution, but I just don't know what it does. The cool thing about the transmitter mode is you can set it up so it recharges everything in your inventory, or anything in the hotbar, or anything just that you're holding. In this case, I'm going to set it on the hotbar only. No, let's do on. Let's just do on. That'll be really helpful later on. It's a bit like Ender.io has its wireless charger. This here is a bit more controlled. So that's the basic controller. You need at least one controller for every network you create. Next thing we can do is over here, we can set it up to make a flux plug, which sends energy. And once again, you're just looking at the basic blocks we've already made. So we'll click on one of these. And I'm going to go over here and replace. Let's get rid of this guy. So this kinetic dynamo, which is getting power from behind it, is no longer sending power anywhere. But we can put a flux plug on it, and you'll see initially it doesn't connect. You do need to right click on it and choose your network. So we can go nzHook's network. Go back to home. We'll name this guy just so we can identify it. This is Water Wheel 1. because it's the first water world, obviously. You can choose priority on which order it sends things in, and the maximum amount it will send. Really, there's not a lot that we need to know there. We've got one plug now, and nothing sending and nothing receiving. Because, well, yeah, it's done. That's it. We've set it up, and now you can see it's connected. You'll also notice when I went into here and chose the network, it's now pink to go with the pink we chose over there. Now, that's quite cool, but it's going nowhere. We've got nothing to connect to. So what we can also do, let's go in and make one of these basic flux energy storage thingies, which requires a whole bunch of flux blocks again and some glass panes. I don't have any glass panes, so let's just go grab some of that. Do I have any glass? Let's clear that glass. We have a bit of glass. We don't have any glass panes though, so we'll grab some glass. Got a little bit of glass. Grab that. We will make that into glass panes, which, off the top of my head, it's this recipe. No. Nope. That there, maybe? There we go. I'll need a few of these for later on, so I'll just make all these up now. And we'll go back downstairs where we're doing all this. Just over here. What we'll do is we'll go and make this guy here, which shouldn't be too hard. And this is our storage, a really basic storage method. And it should immediately, oh, we need to put it in a network, obviously. Stick it into there like that, and instantly it should start receiving power. That's a little odd. There we go. So as you can see, it's now increasing in its power. And you'll note that there is no connections to it. Not a single connection went into it. Not a single cable. Not one of these plugs or anything. That is just pulling it from here and putting it to here. Oh, I see what's going on there. Okay. Take that off as well. Stopped all our power. Everything is going to turn off, but that should be doing things better. And if we go to network statistics now, we are now receiving 20 RF per tick. And there's that mention of transfer again. Still don't know what it means. And as I said about the colours, you'll now see that this one's pink to go with the colour. Let's make another one. It's one of these guys. One of these. No, I'm out of those. 1, 2, 3. Make a fourth one too. One of these. Stick that into here. Put it right next to it. Does nothing until it's connected. We'll create a new network though. We'll call this one network 2. And we'll make it blue. Okay, so now we've got the 2. So when you're working with things, you can select either network. In this case, of course, there's nothing in there. But we could actually fill it up one of two ways. We can go into the select the network here. Let's put it onto this guy. And now you should see that it's, oh, it'll fill that up first. Well, let's change this one here. So we can set this to blue, and it'll keep its power, but you'll note that now we have a blue box and a pink box. So you can have them all stacked up next to have really cool colors. And you can have your power going into various different locations. Hi, wherever you are. So really quite a cool little thing. If we put this back to, so now it's filling up. Put this guy back into selecting that network, and we'll actually delete this network for now because we don't really need it. And now you'll see that both of them have power. Now, that's cool and all, but now we've got the power somewhere and it's being stored really coolly. We actually want to send it somewhere. So let's go and make a flux point, which receives energy. So this is the other side of the thing. We need another one of these cores, which I've just used them all, and a redstone block. Let me grab some redstone and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we'll make one of these guys. There we go. This guy will receive the energy. And we are going to put him all the way over here. What's this guy? That's the electronics assembler. Put on the computer. So we're going to temporarily disconnect this from the power. Hopefully it doesn't die. We're going to put the flux point on here. Once again, doesn't connect up. But we can now say nzHook network. And it's done. That's it. Doesn't require anything else. We can of course give it a priority to say that this item here will get the power first, and we give a maximum how much power it will take at once. So for example, we wanted to say only give this machine 20, we'd set it to 20 and it will only send 20 RF per tick. So if we go over to here, these guys here are 100,000 IF, whereas these guys are 256 killer RF per tick. So they're actually already bigger than what we've got plugged in over there. But we can actually extend them further. We can make a Herculean flux storage, which is the same recipe in glass but with the basics again. So you need 6 basics to make one of these guys. Or we can make the gargantuan, which is the Herculean times 6 again. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go off and craft up some more of these, because obviously we need 6 of them and it takes a little bit of resource to do it. And once I've got that, I'll come back and catch you. Okay, so as you can see, I've now got 6 of them set up, which should be enough to go to the top, and they're all set to get the network from the main thing, which gives us a total of 1.5 million RF. Not bad per piece. But if we take these out, and of course they've been charging up while we've just been sitting here and making them up. So I must be making a lot more power than I thought it was. But if we place them into... and they keep their storage. Nice. Okay, so if we make one of these guys, so it's got 1.5 million stored. Okay, let's place it down. It will go. What? Wait. What? Oh, 1 minute. Local buffer. Oh, look at that. Now that's worth an upgrade. So previously they had 1.5 million RF. Just by upgrading them with the 6, I've now got 12.8. That's nice. Stick them to there. Do they actually? It looks like they keep their storage. Look at that. So all the power of those 6 is now on that 1. Ha ha ha. I like it. Do I really need to go up one more? What's required? They got the next one is just another 6, isn't it? Yeah, just another 6 of those. I wonder what that gives you. I think I'm going to try that. Back in a moment. Okay, so there's 6 of those guys. That's giving us 76.8 mega RF storage. Let's take them out and convert them into the big ones. And I'm assuming that they also keep the inventory. Let's go into here. Making the gargantuan. One of these guys. Currently 1.7 stored. Place that down there and... 128 million RF storage. Well, that's a bit of storage. And so I think that'll cover what's in here. I don't think I've got that much stored in here alone. So what we're going to do though is we will take this guy off and set that guy on there, set him to be on the new network. So he's transferring power. I don't think it matters that it's connected over there because it's not connecting anything anymore. And statistics, 256 kilo RF per tick, transferring 559 RF per tick. Don't quite know what that means, but it is going up, so that's awesome. I like that. Well, I can't see us filling up this single block here with all the LV capacitors there combined, plus the amount of power we're generating on a normal basis. I think we're sorted for power for a while. And the cool thing is it's all wireless. We don't have to worry about it. I could set something in the village or in the spawn and have it running off the same power or not. I don't think there's a limit on the distance between the blocks, as long as you've got everything configured. And on top of that, when we get into a later episode and we need to have items on us that are powered, we're going to have wireless power transfer, which is even cooler. Anyway, I'm going to end the episode here. If you enjoyed the episode or learned anything from it, please do hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and like what you saw, hit subscribe. Questions, comments, suggestions, or just want to say million. Leave a comment down below. But otherwise, have a great day, and